Hey guys, what's up? My name is Chris and welcome to CrossChop. I was recently tagged by my buddy the LOCH SNES Monster over at his channel in a video response series called Taggin' Tubers 2.0, I believe, in which the YouTuber must answer a series of questions demonstrating his or her perspective on a couple of topics. I don't want to waste a whole lot of time in this preamble, so we'll go ahead and dive right in with the first question. Question number one is, who or what got you into playing video games? Without a doubt, my earliest gaming memories come from the basement of my parents' friend's house. Now, they had a son named Ryan, and they were kind of a wealthy family, so they actually had an NES, and Ryan had a really sizable stack of games. The funny thing about these games, however, was we always kept coming back to one because it was challenging, it was a lot of fun, it made us laugh, we smiled. And it was kind of a cool bonding experience because Ryan was several years older than me, and I thought he was the coolest guy on the block. He wasn't on my block. He was actually probably 20-25 minutes away from the town I grew up in. In any case, we played a ton of Super Mario Bros. 3, and I really have to attribute a lot of my interest in gaming and interactive entertainment in general to playing Super Mario Bros. 3 on the NES. I didn't hang out at Ryan's super often, but I always got so excited when my parents told me we were going there because I knew it wouldn't be too long before I'd be jumping through the Mushroom Kingdom with that plastic controller in my hand. I was hooked. Question number two is, what are some tips to help you grow your YouTube channel?
Full disclaimer.
I am far from being any kind of authority on something like this, as my channel is pretty small. It doesn't grow very rapidly, and I spend most of my time goofing off in these videos. However, I have made some recent observations as I've watched my channel grow from about 25 subscribers less than 3 months ago to over 75 now. I'm close to 80. So on that basis alone, I'll offer a few tips that I have compiled. On every video since I started taking my YouTube channel a little bit more seriously toward the beginning of this year, I always strive to record the best audio that I can within my means. To give you an example, this is how my videos used to sound. Hey guys, my name's Chris. This is how it sounds with a built-in microphone. Now this is how it sounds with an external microphone. In post-production, I sync up the audio with what I recorded on video, and it is a painstaking process. It can be kind of a nuisance. You'll develop some familiarity with kind of how your visual workstation goes depending on what software you're using, but it is something that just really requires practice, but it pays off in the long run, I think. Number two is to create the best thumbnails that I can for my videos after I've made them. Here's an older thumbnail for one of my videos before I updated it at a later time. And here's what I updated it to. My rule of thumb for this is that the colors need to look pretty good unless it's black and white, in which case I try to boost the contrast, but you don't have to be a photo editing pro for this kind of thing. Just shrink it down really small. That's another big tip, and see if it makes sense on a small screen, ideally on a mobile device. But yeah, honestly, just boosting the color and contrast and making it ideally something that's eye-catching or memorable, something that's going to stand out in your audience's subscription feed or a potential viewer who's going to see it on their suggested videos. YouTube has a guide for this that I'll link in the description below that I've used before, which is kind of helpful. But even if you don't have a program like Adobe Photoshop, which is what I personally use, you can use some free tools out there. Another one that I've used in the past when I haven't been able to get to my computer and I've been on the go and I knew that I needed to make a decent thumbnail better than just the suggested ones that YouTube gives you, I've used a tool called Pixlr, Pixlr.com, that I'll link below as well. So give that a try. It's pretty easy to use. It has a lot of the same features as Photoshop. It's not quite as robust, but it works in a pinch. And the third and final tip I'm going to give for this question is to watch, like, and comment on other people's videos. Subscribe to them. Basically, people are going to look at your interactions on other people's videos. You may not think they always do, but it does show. It shows that you're involved in the community, that you're genuinely passionate about the topics that are there. But by the same token, while it is good to be passionate, you also want to be conscientious of what you're saying. You don't want to come off as a weirdo, or to be overly negative. There's enough negativity on the internet as it is that I honestly just try to avoid that. I guess what I'm trying to say in summary is to be as authentic as possible, but don't be afraid to be vulnerable either, because people want to hear a human voice. They want to realize that they're talking or hearing or seeing an actual human being. I guess that's the whole point of YouTube, am I right? Question number 3 is, what are some tips to make a good YouTube video?
I don't need some tips. I've only got one, and that's beer.
All kidding aside, honestly, in addition to the good sound tip I offered for helping to grow your YouTube channel, I've got a few more tips that I can offer as well. And these are the tips that I try to employ on my own channel or my own videos before I publish them. Number 1 is good lighting. I think there's a lot of videos out there on YouTube that a lot of us have seen and have said, you know, this game room looks pretty cool, but it's so dim in here I can barely tell what's going on. This guy looks like he's in a cave, you know, and the content's great, you know, you're enjoying seeing this person's videos and interacting with them, but you're just in the back of your mind wishing that there was a little bit better lighting. So it's something that takes a little bit of time for setup before each video, but I open up the blinds on a window nearby, I point a lamp at my face, and I light the room with more lamps than are normally there. So really just boosting the lighting level in your room is going to help, and it's going to make it a little easier when you're editing too. I don't use After Effects or anything like that. I'm too broke to do that at the moment, but hopefully one day I will, and I'm hoping to put good practices in place with my lighting now so that I won't have to do quite as much boosting in post-production editing. Tip number 2 for improving your YouTube videos is to trim the fat. Ideally, deciding what you're going to outline in your videos before you even film them is best. For example, for this video, you know, I wrote out a bunch of notes. I made an outline of what I wanted to hit. And I don't do this for every video. I really don't. A lot of them I kind of wing it, but I sometimes look back and wish that I hadn't done that. So for this one, hopefully I'm not rambling too much, but people's time is really valuable to them. And the fact that people are taking 5, 10, in some cases 15 minutes out of their life to play a video of mine on YouTube, even if they don't watch the whole thing, I try to keep it as interesting as possible, if not exciting or funny, but at least present some kind of value to make it worthwhile for their time. Tip number 3 is, if you're using music, use it carefully and be sure to balance it right. This is an optional tip, of course. Not every channel uses music. Not every channel needs to use music. I do sometimes, I don't always. Lately here I've been using it a lot, but I try to make sure that at a high volume, the music doesn't overpower my voice, but it's also not so quiet that it's like, what's the point of that even being there really? So it can be tricky, and sometimes it does take some time to develop an ear for that kind of thing. If you're gonna use music, make sure that it's leveled in such a way that it doesn't wash out your voice if you're making videos that use your voice. And the 4th and final question on here is, what are you doing to further your YouTube channel? So right now, my primary focus is on diversifying the content that I'm publishing to my channel, while still keeping it in line with the whole cross-shop mantra, I guess. Along with that, I'm trying to come up with new ways of sharing my videos. This is all with the intent of hopefully bringing people a laugh or two, or engaging in some cool discussions with gamers on games that we like, that we've played, that we wish to play, or that we wish to add to our collections one day. More long-term, and I guess on the kind of grounded side, I'm also hoping to upgrade my technology more so that the quality of my videos will improve, and it'll make it easier to work with the tools that I have to hopefully publish more content more frequently than I currently do. Hopefully, a year from now, I'll be able to put out multiple videos per week, or stick to my weekly schedule and then add bonus videos in here and there wherever I can.
Gotta keep fighting the good fight, eh?
Anyway, guys, that about does it for me, and I think part of the requirement for this video is that I need to tag a handful of other people to do this. So these are a few channels that I'm glad I subscribed to. I like watching their videos, and I'm interested to hear their opinions and thoughts on some of these same questions. And the first one is Nick Berry. He recently subscribed to my channel, and I'm enjoying reading his commentary on my videos. I've checked out some of his collection videos, and I'm really impressed. The guy has a great eye for quality and knows what he's talking about too. So I challenge you, sir, to present your thoughts on these questions. The second YouTuber here I want to tag is Rah Pah Gamer, also over in the UK, like Nick Berry is. But yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this as well. I'm enjoying seeing the RPGs that you're picking up. You definitely have a deep knowledge of role-playing games, so you're tagged, sir. And lastly, Once again, I feel like I tag him a lot, but it's because he's one of my best buds. And I'm really hoping to see his channel grow. He's, I think, around 20 subs at the moment, maybe a little less, but he's been growing. And that's VX Thunder. I know you'll have some great commentary for this, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what you say, buddy. Anyway, guys, I hope that was valuable in some degree to you. Thanks so much for stopping by, and if you liked what you saw today, please subscribe. Once again, my name is Chris. This is Cross Chop. Play heavy.